Hello, greetings, the University of Iowa Mandela Washington Fellows. Welcome. We are really looking forward to meeting you all when you arrive here at the University of Iowa. I am Dimi Bereska, an associate professor of practice, and I am the academic director of the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. And I'm here with my colleague.
Hello, I'm Kim Harris, and I'm an associate professor, but I also consider myself an entrepreneur, just like Dimi does too.
Definitely, we are both entrepreneurs. So it's just a pleasure to be with you to do this recording so we can start getting to know you before you arrive here. We are the University of Iowa, and which means we are located in the state of Iowa, in the center of the United States. We call ourselves Iowa Nice, and we're the field of opportunities. And the University of Iowa is in Iowa City, and we have about 31,000 students. And Kim, if you want to go to the next slide. And then, as I was saying, Iowa is in the middle of the United States, between Nebraska, Illinois, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So we are really right in the center. Approximately 31,000 students. We are ranked number 35 for top public schools by U.S. News in the United States. Our College of Business, where we are located, where the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program is run, ranked number 18 among public universities, number 18 College of Business, okay? We have a teaching hospital, College of Engineering, biomedical engineering, writers workshop. You're going to visit all of those when you are here on the campus of the University of Iowa.
Thanks, Dimi, for that introduction to the university. And there's so many things that you are going to get to experience. And one of them is what we call Venture School. And we have sent out some pre-work to you so that you could be ready to participate in Venture School. And I have to say, I started doing Venture School about 7-8 years ago, I think. And being an entrepreneur, this is a very important and wonderful opportunity for you to experience how to validate your business ideas and how to really take steps to move your business or organization forward. So where this came from, to give you a little bit of history, the National Science Foundation, which is a foundation here in the US that provides grants, funding to innovators, they found that the research and the innovations were maybe not being as successful as what they anticipated. And so they developed this process to help entrepreneurs really develop their markets, their value propositions. And so this has been in existence since 2011. And from that, being the innovators and entrepreneurs that we are, we took that and we created something called Venture School. So that is our very own Venture School being modeled after the NSF I-Corps program. We have that offered across the state to entrepreneurs, and many, many, many entrepreneurs have used this, as well as every one of our Mandela Washington Fellow cohorts. And I think, Dimi, you'll probably agree this is a highlight.
This is the highlight of the University of Iowa Mandela Washington Fellowship Program, for sure.
And I think one of the reasons is that you're actually working on your business. You're not just thinking about it, and you're learning from a variety of people, from yourselves, on how you can best put your business or your organization together. So as I said, you get to validate your ideas, because you know what? 75% or more businesses fail. You don't want to invest all that time, energy, potentially money without making sure that you've got as good an idea as possible. The other thing is that this process really helps you de-risk your startup or your existing organization, because there's several areas that you'll get into where you're evaluating partners, activities, finances, etc. And it reminds me that I wanted to say, even if your business or organization is existing, no problem. You can still use this very effectively, either to develop new products, new strategies, maybe adjust a supply chain issue. There's a lot of value in that. So we operate with a flipped classroom. Now, Demi, you usually say here, what, do you turn the classroom upside down?
Exactly.
And I say, well, sometimes we kind of make you stand on your head. Not really. But the flipped classroom simply means that we're going to be giving you work to do, just like this pre-work. So it will be assigned to you and you will work on it. And then you'll come back and share what you learned with the mentors, with the instructors. So that's what we mean by a flipped classroom. Now we're going to get on to the pre-work that was sent out to you. And my goal today is to give you a little bit of an overview so that you understand better what we're expecting with the pre-work. So first of all, this will be very similar to what you experience in terms of pre-work when you're at Venture School. So it is the homework you're doing before you come. And each day you're going to update us on your learnings. And you all are going to get to hear what everyone else is learning. So it's really a win-win. The final thing there about answers outside the building, in a minute, we're going to get into customer discovery. And let me tell you, Demi, the answers are outside the building, right?
They are. They are.
What do we mean by that?
Well, that means you've got to go outside the building and talk to people that you think will be using your product or service.
Exactly. So here's your first assignment. There are some articles and the business model canvas that we would like you to look at. And then there's also a customer discovery video that one of our excellent instructors put together, Elizabeth Hallgren, on how to do customer discovery. Now, she suggests in there that it's better to do it face-to-face, but that you can do it Zoom or WhatsApp if you prefer. But face-to-face really gives you an opportunity to see the expressions, hear when somebody really gets excited about something, or if they're fading off and not excited at all. So this is the first item you'll find on your pre-work. And the goal of Venture School, and you've heard of lean startup potentially, is that you are learning from these customers, right? You learn from them, you maybe build something, you test something, you test a value proposition, you measure, you maybe figure out how many people does that resonate with. And so lean startup versus waterfall means instead of you just having this great idea that you came up with before you talk to anyone, you don't do it that way. You do a lean startup where you're learning as you go and pivoting along the way. Some ground rules for customer discovery, and this sheet is available to you in the information we sent out. Adopt a beginner's mind. You may think that you know everything about your potential customer, but do your very best to keep an open mind so that you can hear what they're saying to you. Listen more than you talk. I don't know if any of your mothers ever said to you, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? So do your best to listen to what they're saying. Get facts, not opinions. And you're going to hear this in the videos that we're sending out, that instead of asking someone, well, do you think you might use that? That's an opinion. Instead of, when was the last time you used XX? Okay. Oops, excuse me. So the other items on this is ask why a lot. to get real motivations. I'm not sure if you've heard of the 5 levels of why, but if you can figure out how to ask why, you can get to those deeper reasons why someone does something. And then the goal of customer discovery or insight is not to sell. You're going to hear us say this over and over. You will want to sell, I'm sure, but do your very best to not sell, because they may then tell you what you want to hear. And sometimes they lie, not intentionally, but they maybe want to make you feel good. So don't mention solutions if at all possible, and then follow up with them and always open doors. So like, is there anyone else you think I should talk to about this? Was there something else I should ask you? So those are some tips that we've found helpful. So now I have recruited Dimi, and I've asked him, Dimi, would you just be my customer? And we're going to go back to the time before Uber. We're going to go back to the time when it was just taxis or other kinds of drivers. And I'm going to ask Dimi a few questions. So thanks for being willing to talk to me, Dimi.
Sure, yes, my pleasure.
I would like to find out, when you're traveling, how do you find transportation to the various places you need to go?
Well, I can either call the taxi service to order a taxi and wait hours before they can send one to me, or I can go outside the corner of the street and hail a taxi and wait sometimes long, seeing them driving by. Either they are crowded or there are so many people waiting that I never get a chance to get into a taxi.
Interesting. So you've listed several challenges there. Are there any other challenges that you experience related to the taxis?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I mean, you never know how much you're gonna pay. And I remember one time I was at the airport in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, coming home, and I get into a meter taxi. And before I know it, I was not even halfway home. The meter was at $100, and they don't even take credit card. I didn't have cash. So again, I have to have the taxi driver have to have them drive to an ATM machine so I can get money out. And I remember I probably pay $115 for a simple ride. So I didn't have any idea how much I was going to pay. And another example is one time I was in a bigger city, in United Arab Emirates, in Abu Dhabi. There were so many people waiting for a taxi. I called a taxi, and the taxi was coming to get me. And then someone came out of nowhere and jumped inside a taxi, and yeah, I was not fast enough. So all of those challenges that I face, when I try to find a taxi.
Well, thank you for sharing those. And let's assume, everyone, since Uber's doing such a fantastic job all over the world, mostly all over the world, that they did find a lot of people that fit that description. So the next thing I want to talk about is the assumptions exercise. So this is something that you can use to go through these questions, such as, who's my target customer? What problems do my customers want to solve? And these things can help you to formulate your questions and get data on those. There is another page here, and you will have that in your pre-work as well. Now, the one thing I want to remind you of, it says this on our instructions, but after you do your first 5 interviews, we will provide you feedback, because we want to be helping you to obtain as much quality information as possible. So just be sure that you get feedback from us before you go on to assignment 2. Then assignment 2, you're going to develop a list of 20 customers or partners. Maybe there's somebody you'd like to do some interviews with that you might like to partner with. You'll have the name, all of those details, and then you'll conduct customer discovery with those folks before you come. You want to record the information so that you've got it and can bring it with you to venture school. There is another video that we've made available if you want to just explore more and figure out, like, how do I determine what trends or what I want to learn? So that's an optional video. And then once you've got that information, you can go ahead and complete the business model canvas to the best of your ability. You may not know all of those things, which is fine. And we have a video that Greg, one of your instructors, will be sharing with you that will help you fill that out. Then you'll go ahead and do an ad lib, which is it's like a quick pitch. And it's a great way to be able to be succinct about your product. I'm going to give you a little example here in a minute. And then you bring all of those things with you to Venture School. So the business model canvas is attached to your pre-work. You can enter information right into this document. And then next up is this ad lib. And so I'm going to give you just an example based on our Uber customer discovery. So our car service helps travelers who want to get a driver timely and know what it will cost by reducing and avoiding late taxis and the uncertainty of getting a driver, unlike a traditional taxi or waiting for a friend. So this ad lib helps you put together a very quick pitch, and you can take a look at that and bring that with you to Venture School as well. So we have some final comments, and then I'll let Demi wrap up. So we will work and report out each day that we're doing Venture School on your business and your organization. These processes help move you further to your target.
Do you want me closer to the target?
Yes, exactly. Being closer to the target, right? We don't want to waste a lot of time, for sure, time and money. And so I'd like to have Demi talk about, what do we mean by don't fall in love with your first model?
No, I mean, because it's going to change. Most cases, most of the time, the Mandela Washington Fellows, they come with us with a fully developed business model, and then even at the beginning of Venture School, they change. And toward the end, what they had at the beginning is totally different at the end. So yes, it will change.
And who wouldn't want to have their business or organization be positioned to be successful, right? These things are not scary that you have to change. It's really that you're trying to position yourself so you can be successful right away.
Yeah.
And then finally, who judges your business model?
The customer. The customer.
Yeah. So that's exactly why we're having you do all of this customer discovery. So thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you will have my email on the information we send, as well as here. So Demi, do you want to say any parting words?
Yes, we can't wait to see you here at Iowa. Really, really. Okay, so good luck with the homework. And if you have any questions, reach out.
Sounds great. See you all soon.
See you soon.